go. Here we 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 go.
Welcome to Salute. Here we go again. I am, of course, Joe Ugly. My daughter's next to me.
Shakiria.
And, of course, this is Salute, where we salute the men and women who wear and wore, of course, the U.S. service uniform.
Yes.
Tell them what you do.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
And let's get this salute going. What's up?
All right, so an ongoing topic with the wonders of this new election is a question that has spewed so much discourse, which is, should women be allowed to serve in combat? Now, it is a decade-old rule where women were allowed, that the Pentagon allowed in the military, and now the new secretary, Pete Hegseth, how you say it?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. He's the one ignited the conversation that because he believes, and I quote, "I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat role. It hasn't made us more effective, hasn't made us more lethal, and has made fighting more complicated."
But a real question should be, did it make us less? The answer is no.
No, it didn't. It has not.
Women in combat has not made us less of any of those things that you just highlighted.
Nope.
So what's the problem?
What the problem is highly conservative men who have their views and their old politics in which they believe, and it's just one step of everything. It was abortion. Now it's saying they don't want them, and it's not just combat they're gonna stop at.
Of course not.
They're gonna stop. They're gonna say
Women in the military, period.
Period. And you could tell he feels strongly about that already. He just hasn't said it yet.
Right.
Because that one is a little bit too far. So he made sure to say specific combat and specifically these jobs I don't think women should be in.
You know, your mother and I was at an appointment, and one of the guys was there, Air Force guy. You know, he's spewing he says, "Oh, this is not my words. This is a colonel's word." I'm like, well, if it's a colonel's word, why repeat it?
Right.
And
You
he's
obviously
talking,
believe
then
it.
he gives this analogy that, you know, the military is like a machine, and when you throw something into it, it makes the gears grind up and stop working. And when you bring women in, I'm paraphrasing, I'm not being, but when you bring women in and they have this issue and that issue, it stops the wheel from turning. I'm like, when did that ever happen?
My question to him is, who's going to replace the women? When you take all those women, over thousands of women in those positions that he's referring to, who's going to replace them? Where are you going to get the people to replace it? The recruiting level is already so extremely low. Look what they're doing to try to get people in.
Right.
You take away, like a 30% of the population in the military, who's going to replace them?
Robots.
I guess. Maybe they have some lined up and we just don't know about it.
Go, Spot, go.
This is also the same man who also has a sexual assault charge against him, and he paid the woman off, by the way.
Right.
You know, so what do you know? You Fox News and Friends host, for crying out loud.
You know,
You never even served in the military to put your 2 cents in what women should do.
I think he served as much as a marshal. He made it up.
Did
a
he?
major. I think he made it up to major.
I gotta look that up.
Right. He did serve.
Army National Guard officer.
A National Guard. A weekend warrior? A weekend warrior? Oh.
Army National Guard officer. Get out of my face, bro. Get out of my face. Are you serious?
Don't you got a goddamn hurricane that you could go chase down and put in check? What is wrong with him? Go clean up after a hurricane. We don't need you trying to clean up the military. What? Oh, my God.
It's always the ones who, don't really do the job to go in and say, we don't think you should do it. But what do you guys think, though?
You got to think of Lloyd, what's his name? Lloyd Austin, the current head of the defense. And now think of this guy. Okay, let's look at qualifications.
Fox News and Friends. That's really what he has. He's never, besides National Guard, he's been on Fox, and he's never held any government positions. He's never held any. So
I thought at least he served in the, in combat and all this stuff, so he has an understanding.
No.
A weekend warrior?
Yep.
Cleaning up after a hurricane?
A weekend warrior officer, by the way, which even more knows.
Oh, you got to move that couch over to the left. Get it out of the road. We
gotta
can't have it
move
in the
that
road.
sandbag 15 feet.
Yeah.
That's what he's telling people. But apparently he thinks,
Oh, my God. What is this world coming to?
women should, just
Women in
not.
the military is, to me, is an asset.
Yeah.
Because I hate to sound crazy here, but it helped make the day go a little better in the military than just watching a whole bunch of guys.
Maybe that's what they want.
Maybe, maybe.
Because especially the jobs he highlighted, which is like artillery and all that stuff, he said that it's already male dominated. You don't need that excess, whatever.
You know what's interesting though? Other countries, Israel have women, Germany have women.
Other countries have no problem.
A whole lot of places have
America
women,
just
and
has
their
an issue.
and their military is very good.
They just have an issue with women, period. Especially in leadership roles or in just at this point existing, maybe.
See, and this has always been my attitude long before my daughter came along. No, it's always been my attitude that, well, I just can't discriminate. I just can't. I can't bring myself to say, you don't belong here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's never crossed my mind, not once.
Exactly what you said. It's the effects have not been bad. They have not been low. Women in the military have not made things worse. Have not made the safety of Americans worse.
Right.
So what is the reason for this conversation? More than to just take away rights from women.
And look, I got a daughter, and I'm like, I don't think that you should be denied serving your country if that's what you want to do.
Exactly. It's a choice after all. So who are you to tell people not to do it or they shouldn't do it because of your beliefs?
I can't wrap my head around that kind of garbage. I just can't.
I don't know. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Do you guys think women should serve in combat roles? And don't just say no, but what's your actual reasoning for not wanting women to serve in those positions?
Get a little in depth with. I want to hear what's your reasoning why you think women should not serve in the military.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I would like to see that because, All right, so let's get into formation.
Fall in.
With this new record high of veterans getting into the VA, I thought the best way to do that is explaining to you guys how to get a VA ID card. Now, the VA ID card is much like the military CAT card, but it's just what you use to get the same, well, not the same, but you get the benefits, you show it the same way. You can use it to get on bases and all similar things.
Well, it depends. It depends. All your IDs don't allow you on base. You have to be a certain...
Oh, yeah. No. I thought it was to shop at the stores. You have to be a certain...
From what I understood, to get on base.
I got to look into that. If you guys know, let us know. But
please hit it in the comments. If you know if it's a percentage in order to get on bases and shop. Because
I feel like that
once you
would
get on
deny
base,
you.
you'll be able to get on... should be able to go in a PX.
Yeah, but I think you can get on base because I know a lot of veterans go on base for... to get gas and shop at the commissary. So I don't think it's to get on. I think it's just to shop. Because when I was there, when I was active, this lady actually told me that it was that. So that's what I'm assuming. That's what I'm assuming it is.
She don't know what she's talking about. Don't fall for her
No,
nonsense.
I watched her turn somebody else away. And I was like, didn't he serve? Why did he turn him away? She said, oh, he's only 30% and he needs like a high. That's some foolishness.
Yeah. I think she's right. But again, 38 and a half years. Don't make me get started. 38 and a half years.
All right, so.
38 and a half. Go ahead.
Much like the military CAT card, you have to get a VA veteran ID card from the VA. But to be eligible, much like what we talked about last week, you need that DD-214 to get the VA card. National Guard and Reserves, you must have an honorable or general under honorable conditions discharge to get your VA ID. You can apply online at va.gov, or you can go to your local VA, and then you just sign up in the business office.
There you have it.
All right, we'll have all that stuff linked below for you to go apply for your Veterans ID.
By the way, did you get a survey about the service that we get at the VA?
Yeah, I filled out the packet actually.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Nice.
I figured, if they're asking, they send it to me all the time, and they call me and ask me, and I was like, you know what? Let me just complain.
Yeah.
Because clearly I want things to change, so might as well.
I made a complaint about the woman's not having a phone.
Yeah.
And then they wrote back, how do you know? No, they didn't.
I know they did it. Oh, that's hilarious, though. Oh, my God. Yeah, they still don't have a phone. It's been over a year. The director claimed she was going to fix it, and she hasn't. So.
You put that in the survey? I hope you did.
I did.
Oh, okay.
I complained about it.
I put it in there, but
I complained
it's not going to happen. I know they look at the survey like, how he knows? What did he go to the women's services for?
Maybe they think you're transgender.
Oh. I didn't think of that. Oh. Oh, my God.
All right, let's roll into hot topics. And this one is sensitive, I guess. But it ties into the issues with our women's situation. Oh, okay. So, Army instructor uses their clout to prey on college cadets. So, Lieutenant Colonel, married and in his 40s, started taking weird interest in 22-year-old students. He started sending texts, inviting himself to school events where people were drinking, invited her to drink alone in his office. He invites her out to a bar. She thought it was a group thing, and it was just him and her. At the time, she was still under 21.
Wow, he's done.
After one Army event, he got extremely drunk, invited her to his house while his wife was away. She said no. They stayed in the car and talked. He made sexual advances. She declined, but he persisted. She was so terrified and just wanted to graduate. It went on for some time. So now there's an ongoing investigation that has found that ROTC has been a place where senior instructors, typically male, use the program for a dating pool as their personal dating pool.
Wait a minute. Typically male does not mean excluding female.
No,
officers.
but the officers that run ROTC is typically men.
But it does not mean that women
are not officers. I know a ROTC Yale officer right now.
But don't mean that the women are not making advances.
Yes, but we don't hear no males complaining.
Touch me.
Stop, this is not funny.
It's not.
The males are not complaining, so we're just reporting on what was reported. Anyways, most of the women...
cowboy.
Y'all are something. Most of the women...
I just had to get that out.
Most of the women felt saying no would have gotten them kicked out of the program, or they would have to pay back the tuition to the Army. So a lot of them didn't say anything. They just went with it because if they report anything against you and they know enough people, you can just get kicked out, and then you owe the Army however much it costs to go to university. And then since 2020, there has been a total of 38 inappropriate instances involving ROTC instructors and their cadets.
It's it's not just the Army, by the way, who's doing this. So this is across the board. I'm not saying that it makes it any better. It don't.
It doesn't, but the reason why Army focus is because it's usually the Army that covers ROTC largely compared to the other branches.
Right.
So that's why.
Dead silence. I don't even know where to go with that.
I don't know.
It's
Look,
like, no.
I'm just tired of hearing that. Like, I don't try to bring it up a lot, but it's like.
Well, how do you feel about this stuff?
I've been in the military. These things happen. I can't. Like, I was talking to the producer, and I told him, I said, I don't understand why these issues, especially sexual ones, are so high in the military or getting into the military. You have recruiters getting in trouble, you got cadets, and what is the problem? Can you not, as a man, I get it, we're men and women, people are tracked, blah blah blah, but can you really not just put that aside and do the job? or is it always going to have a mix? It has to mix and problems will arise.
And this is why you have these guys screaming they don't want women in the military.
Yeah.
Because the lack of control is what puts them in these positions. It's a really big one.
You said lack of control.
On their behalf.
On their behalf, yes, but that just, you're a grown ass man and you don't have enough control to not make sexual advances at a freaking 20-year-old girl that you're supposed to be helping to advance
That's
her
what
career.
I'm saying. Their lack of control is what make them go to that level. Now, they're also where, see, here's where it gets tricky. Guys got to know, this is where the thing of control comes in. When you get younger women who has an idea of advancement, making passes at you, you got to be like,
Yeah.
nah, you got to start counting what you have to lose.
Exactly.
You know, and, you know, no matter how sweet the eye candy might look, you got to have that.
You're throwing your whole military service away for
That's
some
crazy.
eye candy. Now
That's
you're
crazy.
embarrassed, disgraced. You might lose rank. You lose pay. You lose probably retirement if they push further enough. Like your family, everybody, you know, is it worth it, really?
I think some men just get caught up in the moment.
I mean, I
In the
get
moment.
that, but Jesus.
It's like, I'm not condoning it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what I've seen, what I've heard.
Yeah. I also think this would limit a lot of what the women, because I read their statements, I feel like so they have a SAPR program, right, which is where you go report sexual issues or if you had sexual. If they took these people seriously, and you have women who will do it too, who will say, oh, you're trying to, which is what one of the people, one of the girls who reported, where the woman who was in charge said, oh, you're just trying to ruin a man's career. So you have both sides. You have women are against you when you're trying to report, and then you have the men who are ignoring you. So I think the reporting process, because if you felt confident enough that if I reported this, that they were going to take it seriously, look into it, and fix the problem.
Well, let me give a little pushback. Do you believe that there are no women who are just out for maybe a revenge?
No.
You think? No what?
Like, I'm saying no, that yes, there's women that are willing to do certain things to mess with men, yes.
Right. To mess up their career.
Yeah, I've
to
seen
mess
that,
up their,
yeah.
To mess up their world.
Yeah.
They will say stuff
They
and
will lie.
accuse men
They will.
of stuff.
They will.
You could find men in sometimes might have said something to a woman, a young lady, because the exchange of conversation, and that person decided to take it to the next level. Oh, I feel uncomfortable about what you said. Well, you started this. That happens too.
Yes, that does happen.
And there's a lot of times where you have to put yourself like, pump the brakes, you know. Sometimes that line get crossed.
It does. And I think that's the hard part. Because how do you know when the women aren't just trying to get revenge? How do you know when they are? Because women, some of them do lie. I've seen them lie on men a lot of times. And it's effed up because a lot of times the ones who do lie win, and the ones who aren't lying get told they're lying.
But the ones who are lying makes it more difficult for those who are telling the truth.
Yes, that's true.
And it's, see, this is why I don't believe in the cancel culture. Because there are a lot of people who get jammed up just because they said something that could be repeated and misconstrued as an action.
Right.
No, so, you know, the cancel culture it's vicious.
It is vicious, and it's just taken too far a lot of the time.
A lot of times. Look, I'm not saying women do not get abused, raped, all this stuff. I'm not saying that does not happen. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Right.
But what I am saying is there are some points where things are taken totally out of context.
I agree.
And people lose their entire career. And when you see it comes up in a situation where it is like a military career, your rank took time for you to get to. So, I sincerely believe, although I don't believe in the cancel culture, I still don't believe that women should not be in the military.
Nope. That doesn't mean, I don't think any of these, and I don't think it's something we're going to get rid of. I hate to say it. I wish it was an easy fix, but it's not.
It's not an easy fix. You're right. It's a very complicated stuff, and this is why I don't mind elaborating on this topic a little, because it's a deep one.
It is. It's
and people like
deep.
to just touch it and run.
Right, because of what it comes
right.
with.
People don't like the depths of something like this, but in all actuality, it is. I would say, look, I don't want anyone discriminated against, but however, I would strongly say that some people get accused of stuff that they actually did not do.
Yes, I've seen both ends. I really have.
And another thing is, if a guy is like, look at it this way: if a guy is like, he's going, I don't know what you guys say these days, but if you could pull, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Still that.
It's still that? Okay, all right. My daughter now. I don't know how they work with this.
At least that's what I know. They might have changed it.
If they change it on that.
If they change it out, I don't know.
But if a guy could pull, and he's known for that, it's easy to tack that on to him.
Yes, that's
just as if a woman is pretty and she's voluptuous.
Yeah, she got the look. She got the body. Yep.
Right away, if she gets a tag onto her that either she deserved it,
especially in the military, they love to say that,
or that's what she does.
Yep.
Okay, so we have these, and this is why cancel culture is dangerous, because we also have a brand.
Yeah.
A brand that goes along with looks.
Yes, that's
true. So when we get into that cancel culture, we must think of that brand.
Branding, yep.
A woman might express sexuality, don't mean she's a. A woman might talk to a lot of guys, don't mean she's a. A guy could still pull, he's got pulling power.
Yeah.
He don't mean that he's a sex offender. Don't mean that, okay, he made you uncomfortable. Look, you guys heard the story recently. Someone made me very uncomfortable. But I'm not going to run, okay?
I didn't catch what you were saying.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, my God, that's funny.
I still think she's the police trying to trap her.
No, that was just a young girl. That's what young kids say these days. They just be saying crazy ass. It's hilarious.
She the police. They recruit them young these days. And you just gotta look and say no.
Yes.
No. You see, that's where the control comes in.
Right.
That's when you're like, I don't care how good you look, but what you just said is dangerous.
That's also the thing. Control.
I'm gonna move away from what you way away from what you do.
We definitely lack self-control. It's a broad topic, and obviously we can't fix the issue. But I like that we did. I brought it up because I know people are afraid of discussing it, and it gets hidden because people don't want to talk about it. So I wanted to bring light to that, not to bash the military, not to bash any of that stuff, but it is things that happen in and out of the military, and it's just worth addressing every now and again.
Every now and again.
All right.
Thanks for the dive. Okay. Once again, it was a lot of fun hanging out with you guys here. Unsalute as we salute the men and women who wore and are still wearing the U.S. military uniform.
Yeah.
Don't forget to
like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
What she said. See you next week.
Bye.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Here we go! 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 Here we go!